My next guest is going to be taking on Alexey Oleynik coming up here at UFC Fight Night on February 20th. It is Chris Daukaus joining me here on the program for the very first time. Chris, how's it going?
It's going good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. It's great to talk to you, man. How happy were you to get this fight right off the bat, just with the fact that Oleynik's a pretty big name in the division?
Yeah, I was super excited. I didn't expect to get his name right away. I figured I'd be getting someone else, maybe another, like guy who was signed recently. But it's great. I really am happy to have this opportunity, and I can't wait to go out there and show everyone what's going to happen.
Well, it was well earned. That last fight only lasted 45 seconds. Could that fight have gone any better in your last outing?
No. I was super confident going into that fight. I honestly didn't expect it to go that quickly. I was expecting more of a kind of like a drawn out fight, but I'm super happy with the results, obviously.
And I'm sure you've had a chance to reflect on, a pretty good 2020 for you. I mean, 2020 wasn't great for a lot of people, but for you and your brother Kyle, coming into the UFC at the same time, how cool was that? Because that doesn't happen very often, to see two brothers both get signed to the UFC. I think the only other ones, recently were the Koski brothers on Contender Series.
Yeah, it's definitely great. Something that we've been working on for years now. Like you said, 2020 definitely sucks for a lot of people. It certainly sucked for us, but then towards the end of the year, it was definitely great for us. So 2020 is definitely a year that we're going to remember, and we couldn't be happier to be, in the company of some legends like the Diaz brothers and the Miller brothers and the Lozons and all that. So it's going to be good.
Good stuff. Let's talk about Oleynik. Obviously, very experienced, very good on the ground. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I feel like I have the upper hand in a lot of the areas. I'm BJJ black belt. I'm not going to be afraid to go on the ground with him, but there's no reason for me to do that willingly. If he wants to get it to the ground and submit me, he's going to have to work for it, and he's going to have to work really hard. Like I said, I've faster hands than 95% of the heavyweights in the division. I just think my striking is that much better. So I plan to put on that a little showcase of that, and hopefully get another first round knockout.
I mentioned his experience. He has a lot more fights than most people on the roster, but he's also taken a lot of damage in his career, and he's also a lot older than you as well. How much do you feel like that will play into the fight? Just the fact that you really haven't taken that much damage throughout your career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously younger than him. Not as experienced as they would say. I mean, he's got close to, I think, 75 fights, 80 fights. So that's definitely going to play a factor in his, him keeping calm and everything like that. He's fought the biggest names in the sport. But like you said, his past couple of fights, he has been taking some damage. So no disrespect to him, but I'm just going to be looking to add more of that damage. Get my hand raised.
Anything different for this camp, or is it mainly just training with your brother Kyle Daukaus, who's obviously a middleweight in the division? Who are you getting to work with mainly for this camp?
Same core group of guys that we always have leading up to bigger fights. We some of the bigger heavyweights that are in the gym. Brought some other guys in who recently are joining the gym. So it's good wrestlers, good bodies to work with, just to get his size down, get his speed down. So it's something that we've been game planning for ever since we got word of the fight. So camp's going great, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
Anyone notable that we might know that you did bring in for this camp?
Nah, just a bunch of local guys. We really don't train with like cross train with like any other big name guys, just because there's really no other really big name guys from the UFC or any of the surrounding areas in our area. So it's kind of like we have a bunch of like I don't want to say lower level pros, but guys who are just starting out, guys who are extremely skilled, and then but they just they have a couple fights here and there. It's nothing. They're not 20-2 guys like that, but they will be. But it's definitely good.
Good stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have to cut any weight for heavyweight, or you just sort of roll in there and you make the limit?
No. Earlier in my career, I was a fat slob, so I actually had to cut weight. But when I first started fighting, I was up to 300 pounds.
Wow.
So which is great. But in the last I want to say the last 7-8 fights, I haven't had to worry about any kind of weight cut or anything like that. Like right now, I'm walking around, like I'm waking up at like I think it was like 235, 240 this week. So it's nothing crazy. Depending on how hard the training is and how clean I'm keeping my diet, it's good.
Okay. And no chance of you going to light heavyweight, right? I mean, 230 is a pretty big mark off from 205, right? Just double checking that. I'm pretty sure you couldn't,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I could realistically, I could probably make 205.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends. I'd have to be on like a super strict diet for probably 4 months and then, make the cut. But as of right now, I'm staying at heavyweight. Would it be cool to do the whole, weight drop thing? If I get the title shot at heavyweight, do that, win the belt, and then float around with the double champ, going down to 205. So we'll see. I'll be pulling the opposite of John Jones. So we'll see.
Yeah. You'd probably be miserable though. I mean, like you said, it's a
Oh,
process to get
absolutely.
down, right? So we got to keep you happy,
Absolutely.
Chris. I mean, that's better for everyone,
Absolutely.
right? So there you go.
Yeah. During fight during fight camps, just cleaning my diet up just to maintain like this, like 230. And in my last fight for Fight Island, I went in at 227 and I was super miserable, which wasn't like planned. It was just like my body like freaked out, I guess, with the time change, and then with the staying up all night just trying to work out. So it was good.
Good stuff. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
It'll be Will Martinez, head coach, and then it'll be my brother Kyle Daukaus.
Good stuff. And how's this fight playing out in the 20th? I think, pretty obvious if you're putting some money on this fight, probably by knockout, I would think.
Yeah, I'm definitely, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not, that's the thing. I never look for the knockout. I just go out and I just try and be quicker and more technical than everyone I face. Just try and touch them. And then if, I land and they fall down, that's that's always a plus for me. But I'm not going out there expecting to finish him within the first minute. I'm not making any kind of predictions like that because it's just not realistic. I mean, if I can touch him, I feel like I can put him to sleep. If I touch him and I don't put him to sleep, guess what? I'll beat him up for 15 minutes. It doesn't matter to me.
With the main event being Derek Lewis and Curtis Blades, has it crossed your mind at all that, maybe if something happens in that fight,
Yeah.
Knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't, because of course they had COVID last time, that you could potentially step in there?
Yeah.
Is it something you thought of?
No, not really. Just because I'm just so focused on Alexey. I'm just focused on the fight at hand. I'm not looking past him. But now that you bring it up, it's definitely a possibility. And then I've seen that they have on like Twitter and everything, people have announced that there are other heavyweight fights on that card. I think I seen that Tom Aspinall is fighting Arlovsky the same night.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the same night. So yeah, there's a bunch of other heavyweights, I think, on the prelims, which is, it's definitely cool to see that, the heavyweights are actually like the divisions like moving forward. Like people are not, everyone's getting their fights. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of weird to see that. But, like I said, I was just focused on Alexey. And then if anything happens, I'm sure UFC will call one of us as to, jump up to that main event spot. So.
Well, either way, I mean, I'm sure a win here on February 20th, I mean, that's got to situate you well, because Olenyk's a guy that they seem to put against, up and comers, and then you sort of get that big fight after that. Is that kind of what you're thinking too, just with the name value that Oleynik brings to the table?
Oh yeah, I absolutely. He's he's a legend in the sport, and he's a staple in the division. So there's, everyone who, I don't want to call him a gatekeeper, because he's, in my opinion, he's not the gatekeeper in the division. I really don't know who's the gatekeeper, just because there's so much new blood going on in the heavyweight division right now. It's, but yeah, I mean, I get that name on my resume. And then, he was, when I think the fight was first signed, he was a top 10. And I think his ranking has dropped to 12. I want to say that. If I'm wrong, no disrespect. But yeah, I mean, I get past him, and then it's really, the top guys in the division. There's, that's all I want, is just get past him, top guys in the division. The UFC has some options right now, especially with some of the, like I said, the new blood coming in. So if I was, perfect world, it would be, me and Aspinall are really the, like the top new blood in the heavyweight division. We would slowly start, not slowly, but we would start picking off some of the older guys, getting them out, and then, let Stipe and Ngannou fight. And then, later at the end of this year, after, maybe we have another fight or two before the end of the year, we'll see what happens. And then if he keeps winning and I keep winning, and then we'll number one, number two contender spot, and then we'll go from there.
Downtime. You watching any Netflix or playing any video games or anything like that? What do you do when you're not training?
Not training. I'm working, and then when I get home from work, it's strictly like Warzone. I'll play Call of Duty Warzone. Nuketown 24/7. I love it. And then yeah, that's pretty much it.
What's your day job? What do you do for work? Sorry, if you don't mind me asking.
No, I'm a police officer in Philadelphia.
Oh, you really? Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, full-time police officer. So
how is it balanced? Like, is that something you probably are going to continue doing throughout your career, or do you ever see yourself leaving?
No, I actually see myself leaving. I'm actually going to be coming up on 10 years in July. So after 10 years, I can get a pension. I can actually take pretty much a year off because you have to do certifications every year, and you're given that certification for a full year. So if I finish up my certifications, I'm good until next year. I can leave until my certifications are up, so I can fully go into MMA fighting, which would be weird because I've never really done that because I've always been a cop and I've always been an MMA fighter. It's always been hand in hand. So to fully focus on one or the other would be extremely interesting. So the plan is, as of now, is just to finish out in July, get my 10 years, get a little bit of a pension. We'll see how that year goes, and then if I need to, come back to being a police officer, I come back. If not, I'm going right to the title. So
very cool. Last question before I let you go, kind of a funny one. I don't know if you ever watched pro wrestling growing up. Were you ever a pro wrestling fan at all?
Yeah. I was a big pro wrestling fan. Watch ECW, WCW, all that good stuff.
Okay, because I got to ask you this, and maybe I'm completely wrong on this, but has anyone ever told you look a little bit like William Regal?
No, but I'm actually gonna check that out. I don't even know. I can't even picture William Regal, so I have to check that out.
Maybe earlier on, like when he was like first coming up in WWF, but like you kind of look a little bit like him. I don't know. That was just I watched it growing up. That was one of the first things I saw when I saw you in the UFC. It was like, you kind of look a little bit like William Regal. Okay. So I'll let the fans decide and see what they think on this video. But yeah, I think you got a little bit. And I get told I look like that Dean Ambrose guy all the time, John Moxley. Everyone tells me I look like him. So I don't know if you know who that is. He's in AEW, but yeah, I get that's my doppelganger. So there you go. We're in good company.
Perfect. I will definitely check him out.
Good stuff. Chris, thanks so much for the time, man. I know we had some tech issues. I really appreciate you sticking with it.
Sorry about that.
No worries. It's listen, it's the day and age we live in with internet. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
If you want to just check me out on Instagram or Twitter, it's just Chris_Daukaus MMA, both Instagram and Twitter. Check me out, get a follow. Just support everyone who's supporting me, my wife, my brother, mom, all the guys at the gym. Angelo, he runs a truck shop. I appreciate it. A&M Fleet. Jason Patton, another guy who helps out with my HVAC. He runs a great company, and he's got a Clutch Shot and all the other Primal Nutrition, all the Hill Brothers for the sparring and the very tough rounds. So I appreciate you guys and thank you for everything.